Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side. Scouring the shells, we're down for the ride. Plastic warriors all lined up tight. From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching, yeah, taking my time. I'll flip every aisle, don't care what it takes. For that rare chase piece, I'm raising the stakes. Action figure alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep, rolling heavy with my action toys. Collectors unite, we're breaking the chains. Plastic in hand, we're playing no games. From legends to villains, yeah, I got them all. Stacked up high, every hero, every ball. Every line, every wave, from the past to the new. It's a bond, it's a crew, we're the real toy zoo. Tear it through the packaging, no hesitation. Each piece, a reminder of dedication. We'll call it a phase, this ain't just a trend. These figures got a history, they're my closest friends. Action figure alliance, we're staking a claim. Battling for grails, don't care about fame. From the base of the shelves, we're making a stand. This is our world, you don't understand. Paint them, pose them, fix them up right. Customs in the works, we go all night. From the rarest grills to the two-towel fights. Each one's got a story burned in our minds. Action figure alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep, rolling heavy with my action toys. Collectors unite, we're breaking the chains. Plastic in hand, we're playing no games. We're playing no games. From legends to villains, yes, yeah, got them all. We're after legends and stories untold. Alliance forever till the end of the line. This is our mission, this is our pride. From legends to villains.
What's going on? Yep. How you doing?
What's happening, man? I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Ready to get this one started and talk some toys, man.
We got a guest tonight.
We
got a cool guest tonight. Something that maybe not enough people have heard about. Why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
So we met this guest at Joe Fest 2024, Patriot Force. So we're going to talk to Ryan and Gavin about this line. They got a Kickstarter coming soon. But yeah, they had some samples at Joe Fest, and they had some awesome stuff. You know, was excited to talk to them, and the podcast didn't exist when we did that. So, you know, when we went by, I just remembered it, and I was like, oh man, that was a cool line. We got to get them on, and so glad that they can join us tonight to talk about this line. And I think a lot of people are going to like what they got coming. So,
yeah. I mean, they've got a Kickstarter that they're working on launching here this year, which is super cool. Which I'm going to be eager to hear, you know, how that process is going for them. You know, what all they're working to kind of get everything ready for that, and you know, get some good behind the scenes there, as well as, you know, what their plans are. You know, so yeah, it should be a cool one. And as a matter of fact, Trey, we talked about starting the podcast on the way home
on the way back from from Joe Fest in the truck. We're like, man, we ought to do a podcast. We ought to do something. And
yeah.
Eventually that came to fruition with Abby, and you know, now we're doing this. So
Yep. Well, cool, man. I'm gonna kick in the intro and then we'll bring them in.
Yep, let's roll.
In a pleasant world where legends collide, tiny heroes standing side by side, guardians of playtime in disguise, action figure alliance on the rise. Join the alliance, come take a stand, with a many armies ruling the land. Hail to the heroes, loaded with might, action figure alliance, unite tonight.
Yo, gentlemen.
Hey, good evening.
What's going on? Welcome.
All right, we have two of us now, so if it gets hard to hear us, let us know, and we'll stick our head up next to the mic.
So far, so good.
No, you're good.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you bringing us on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we're happy to have you. Why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit? Like, what are you guys working on? What is Patriot Force USA?
You want to start?
You can.
We're launching a line, and we're going to try to make realistic figures based upon. First, we're going to start off with the Afghanistan-Iraq war. Some of the figures will be based upon real veterans. We'll have some fictitious ones in there too. We want to have some Army builders. We will have insurgents. They're not, I think I said earlier, they're loosely, some of them are going to be loosely based on people, but they're not really supposed to be based on, I guess, really anybody that you would know out there. So, and I say that we get the question about Osama bin Laden. No, he is not one that we've made.
Right.
So,
Cool.
so that is it now.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to looking at these pictures, what's coming. Tell us about how this idea came about. How did y'all decide that, hey, we're going to make action figures and we're going to do this? How did the whole thing start?
Well, right when I think COVID probably locked down, or a couple months later, was his birthday, and he was at the time really into Army building, and he always wanted to make copies of his own figures. So we got the molding material. We started making, I think, Star Wars and military, and
Nice.
then it kind of morphed over to doing presidents and real veterans. And so we back then, I should have brought one over here. We used the little Elite Force bodies.
Mhm.
We also use Marauder bodies. So most people know what Marauders are. Elite Force are the
Yeah.
old BBI, and now they're Sunny Days. You
Right.
couldn't do much customizing on the gear, and so we eventually wanted to do our own, and so we morphed into obviously finding someone who could actually do the design work, and,
Right.
and here we are. So
So you started off in the 3.75 round with the Marauder stuff and others. What brought you to the 1/12 scale, the 6-inch figure line area?
yeah, just watching the industry, you go into a Target, you see very few of the small toys anymore. You see all the 6-inch.
Right.
You don't really want to eat yourself when you're trying to launch. We don't want to do both scales, but down the road, we'd love to do some of the 3.75. So I don't.
Yeah,
Marauders has a lot of them done, but there's also the newer modern military. What we're doing, I think Joy Toy did it. And I don't know
Yeah.
anybody else really who does those. So
there's some Delta 17s in that area. They were at Joe Fest as well. But yeah, I think after you have a successful Kickstarter and get your line running, maybe you tap that 3.75 modern thing for some of the, there's a huge collector base there. So, yeah.
We would
There is, especially if you decide to go into vehicles. I mean, it gives
Yeah.
you more room to do cooler stuff with. But I mean, we're 12 scale collectors for sure. We both Trey's starting to dabble into some 1/18. I guess I have two now that I say it, and I've got some 1/6 and some other crazy scales and stuff. But 1/12 scale is I think where our hearts are. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to checking them out. But I think I'm curious, like, what got you guys, like, are you both collectors? What got you guys collecting? Tell us a little bit about your history with action figures and collecting in general.
I'll start because I'll tell you how his is kind of morphed. But as a kid, I had everything. I had the Star Wars, I had the G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, and I kept a lot of it. And then when I was in college, they came out with the Phantom Menace, and kind of the pipe dream. You knew what the older ones were valued, and so I bought all of them. But then I kept them in the packages and I sent them back to my parents' house.
Right.
I don't know. That was probably 7 or 8 years before he was born. And then when he was about 3 or 4 years old, we went back to my parents' house and I opened this closet door. My mom did. She said, "Hey, by the way, we still have all these." And I saw his
Nice.
eyes light up.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, no, we can't open them." And then within about 2 minutes, I thought, "What am I doing? Do I really care?" And I think by then, it was just one of those where he was exploring what he was into. And so we opened them up and we had a blast.
Nice.
An hour opening up every single one of those. And then so I would say all the way up until, I don't know, what do you think, a year or two ago, he got more into cars and into girls, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll pass. Don't worry.
That's what I told him. It was a cycle for most of us, right?
Yeah. You'll get back to the important things. Action figures here real soon. That's what it seems like for me anyway. But my wife is over there going, "Oh, you spend too much on toys."
Yeah, mine too.
That's all right. So, well, that's cool. I mean, that sounds like, I don't know, man, just walking in and seeing a closet full of some old figures. That seems like that would have been a blast. What was your take when he opened the door, Gavin? What did you think about that?
I don't remember it.
Oh, you don't?
It was that long ago. Okay.
Yeah, he was pretty tiny. But as a dad, I don't know if you guys have kids, but seeing
do.
your kids, eyes light up, I mean, that was the best thing in the world. So, and that for me now, that's kind of what it is. I don't know if I would be doing it if it wasn't for him. Actually, I mean, I wouldn't be. I can probably
Right.
easily say that. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been fun getting back into it.
When my daughter was smaller, she I found my Hot Wheels and my nephew's Hot Wheels, and I brought them to her, and I started showing her the Hot Wheels, and we started having a Sunday fun day track race. I had a track that you put 4 cars on and push a button, and they would race, and it ends up to one. She loved it, absolutely loved it. But she's 18 now, and she's got a couple figures. She's got a Scream, the Scream guy or whatever, and some Spider-Man stuff. She's obsessed with Spider-Man, but other than that, she's not really into toys. But yeah, it's awesome to see your kids' eyes light up like that.
Well, and as a kid, I grew up in Kansas, and I had to work on the farm with my dad. And I can still remember many times I didn't want to go out there. We lived in town, but we had to go out to the farm. I can remember any time I had sports, I would always try to put in front of it. But then my mom would always urge me, "I'll go out there, with your dad today. It's for him, not you." As a kid, you don't understand it. Right now, he doesn't understand it. I mean, even if you say it, "Oh, this is fun," doing it with you. It's fun.
Well, that's awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's cool that y'all could do this together and come up with something cool that everybody else is looking forward to. So, talk about your Kickstarter. When's this going to start? When's that going to drop? What can we expect going down the road with the Kickstarter?
We still need to find out the price from the factory.
We made some changes with the factory, and so
Right.
we originally were going to launch last year, but then it's adding more people. I think kind of watching other Kickstarters, how they functioned, how some of them didn't go through, we decided to delay it. We
Right.
also have a CGI video we've had a company working on for months. We thought it was going to be done sooner, so we shouldn't have, but arbitrarily we put out dates, before, hoping that would have been done, but it not being, we extended it, and then adding new veterans in, different licensing agreements. We
Right.
kind of push it back. So I think we've talked recently. Our goal is within the next few months, but again, we sent some stuff. I think the problem is these licensing agreements take a while, so it gets us to tinkering.
Right.
And so good and bad reason. We've changed things. We've updated stuff. Made the weapons so you could break them down more and make the stocks adjustable. Every
Nice.
time we do that, the factories are like pumping the brakes. Like, wait a minute, we need to go back and redo this quote. And so
Right.
we're waiting on the last one right now.
It really sounds like you're putting the work into it up front, which is great because to get something that somebody's put the effort into and the quality's there and the options are there, it is good to know. So some of these things people are like, where's it at? Hurry up, rush. Well, sometimes that's not the best thing. So I think you're doing the right thing with getting all your ducks in a row and getting things lined up and making it even more awesome and more enticing for people to want to buy in. So,
Well, yeah, I mean,
kudos
you
on
guys
that.
sent over this PDF with, a
Yeah.
whole bunch of art. And I mean, it looks great. It looks like you guys really are, well prepared and on your way. And I think that's really cool. So why don't I pull that up and we can kind of
Yeah.
chat about that?
Yeah.
All right. So let me get control of this again. Can I go full screen? Where is it? I think we're good. Can you guys see this well enough?
Yep.
Yeah. Looks good.
All right, cool. So, yeah, you talked about Iraq and Afghanistan wars. This looks great. I mean, I'm already happy that you've got a butterfly joint. How did you is this a standard buck or is this just your standard layout that's going to be applied to different bucks or?
So we have 4. I mean, we're not going to launch everything with the Kickstarter that we have. I think the goal would be, we talked about maybe capping it at 19 or 20 figures. So we have multiple ones. This is what you see in this picture here. We're just calling it the combat uniform. It's like based off the Cry Precision uniform. And so as you'll go through, I don't know if you'll be able to see because we have the plate carrier on the figures, but we have like the old BDUs. We have T-shirt version. We have different insurgent versions. We have a Belgian Malinois. I mean, we have different ones, but as far as
Nice.
that is all the joints for the U.S. or the veterans. So
Okay.
the insurgents might have different joints, but yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
same number and quantity, but you have to alter some of them so they fit.
Oh, those
Yeah.
look great, man. The BDUs are awesome. I mean, that's you get different camo styles, and yeah, those look great.
And so this one here is based off the Cry Precision, more like your lightweight, your high speed. You'll see a lot of the special ops and special forces use these. And actually, this picture here, you'll see through, we've had to change some of these. So as you get going with different people, they have different things that we once, thought we were going to be able to do that we can't, or we swapped out people. And so, for example, Remy over here, second from the right, we changed him just to an army builder, and it's just timing right now. And so we hope to be able to do him, down the road, but right now he won't be one of the first ones.
That's going to be the base for them,
Yeah.
like the cameras.
Yeah.
And the,
Nice.
Yeah, I mean the camo, the designs look great.
Yeah.
Have you guys, in regards to the paint, are you confident you're going to be able to pull these looks off, or have you done prototypes, or what are you thinking there?
Yeah, multicam. Well, we can't say multicam, right? We're basing off the Army's, the Scorpion, the OCP. That's the one that concerns me the most. We've seen different versions of it where I think it looks good. I think my standard versus what the factory can do, whether it meshes, we don't know. I mean, here's like just one version of it that we had painted up. And so I think they get the flow. That's probably going to be the main thing they can do. But with multicam, just because there's so many overlapping camos, that's going to be, I think, the most difficult one. But the digitals are just layers. The woodland, yeah, those we feel good about.
Right. Nice.
Interesting. All right. So you got a couple more figures on this slide.
Yeah, this was, I think originally we talked about this being where we're going to launch, but we're not. The guys on the end, on the left, Tonto, and on the right, Sean Ryan, those are more in your BDU camo. So it's going to be your button down. And we try to stay true to the real uniform. So if you take off the plate carrier, you'll see the way the pockets go for the Army are different than the Marine Corps.
Right.
Some of them have vertical pockets, some are slanted, name tags, slanted with it, some are not. So that's going to be probably when we're going through a big cost, because we're going to be swapping out that upper chest piece for a lot of different people.
Right.
Gotcha. Cool. And so you're showing off, some accessory loadouts here. Is this what you're expecting to work with each figure, or are we going to get into that more a little bit later, you think?
Yeah, we do think, let's see if you can look in there. Most of the guys have like a radio on the side and maybe a tourniquet cuff. Those we want to make so they're detachable and really for posing purposes. So we probably will have a few extra accessories. But if you look at right here, I mean, the radio, if you want to pose him like he's doing a CQB or something,
Right.
you're not going to be able to get the arms in position. So
and the radio can pop out. They're modular on the sides.
Oh, that's cool.
here's
Nice.
one, you can see the hole in there. So
Cool.
Right.
All right. So
wow.
a nice loadout of weapons, and it looks like you can break these down too.
yeah, and we do have quite a few more, but this is what we're going to start with. The pistol magazines can be removed. Our M4, so off to the right, the very top is actually an M14. That is going to have a stock where it's fixed. And for the M4 and the HK416, it's going to have an adjustable stock. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
So stock and magazines can be removed. Suppressors can be removed.
Nice.
I'm in just for the weapons. I mean, those
Yeah,
look
weapons
great.
look great. I mean, there's tons of people doing weapons right now. And so did you have somebody do these, or are you designing these? Tell us a little bit about the weapons process.
We have somebody who's designing them for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say he's not. He wasn't really a firearms guy until we started this process, and so it was a lot of back and forth in the beginning. But I mean, tell you, he's knocked it out. I was showing him a buffer tube, that I have for like the M4. I mean,
Right.
the detail on that. I mean, he's nailed it now. So yeah, he's done a good job. Actually, the guy we use, he's got a page too called Headhunters Customs. It does a
Okay.
great job.
Oh, I'm sure I've heard that name before.
Yeah, I definitely have to look him up.
Absolutely. That's cool. All right, let's move on a little bit. Okay, so you were saying like real people you're trying to turn into and get licensing agreements with to make into action figures. So
Yeah, most of the veterans are going to be based upon real people. And by the way, so here's a breakdown on the right side of what the Cry Precision uniform looks like, actually minus the knee pads and the top. But you have the Navy SEAL right there in the AOR 1 camo. So it's similar to your Desert Digital, or if you see the Marines have the Desert Marpat. Similar, there's a darker color. I put a swatch on the top left, but the swatch compared to the uniforms doesn't look that good. And if you look at our mock-ups, our digital mock-ups, he used the swatch just to layer on there. So I do feel comfortable that we're going to get the figures to look more like the real uniforms, but then the mock-ups kind of look like they're very cluttered.
We do have one question. How many points of articulation? And I think we kind of went over that earlier. And in one slide, I had quite a bit, but
I can't remember where we're last, 29 or 31.
30, and I think your slide had 30 on it, so that's a lot.
So it's pretty much the same as classified. That's majority of what I collect, and so that's what we based off of. So the neck, is 2 parts. The only thing we talked recently is whether or not we want to change the wrist joints to a 2-part joint, so that way you have more movement, you can pose it better.
Right.
Right
are
now.
you guys going to make like everything kind of modular, same peg size, so you can do swap outs and customizing?
Everything. Yep.
All right.
Nice.
That's what we like to hear for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are like me, you get your classified and it pisses you off. They won't stand up. And so all of our guys are going to come with a dog tag, and we are making it so that way the classified shoe hole will fit on our dog tag. So
The US
Nice.
figures will come with this, and then
yeah, good.
So the dog tags are stands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the stand. Yeah.
and then the insert.
Nice.
Okay, that's cool. I was wondering, I did,
Ooh, I like that too.
that's nice looking too.
It's got a skull on it. We like skulls here.
Same here. So that's actually the insurgent stand. Will be this right here, and they have a little notch out of it. I don't know. Sorry.
So they kind of click together. Nice.
Yep. There you go.
I like that.
Cool. Okay. All right. So he's got a decent loadout on him. I like the helmet. That looks great. I mean, obviously the gun looks good. We talked about that too. Are the magazines going to be able to come out of the carrier there?
On his, the front ones cannot, and that's more to stay true to his uniform. He actually has the straps over his.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's interesting. All right.
Yeah, really, that was one of them we tossed around back and forth. But so when we do these, we're going to have the front pieces are going to be stuck on there, so they're not going to be 100% modular. But then all the side ones, anything that go on a strap or on the belt, the back of the belt, you'll be able to move.
Cool.
Okay.
By the way, the helmet, that was one of those we went back and forth on. Talking about trying to get the shape of that, like a half shell helmet, and to look good and fit on the guys. I mean, that was probably one of the more difficult things, I think. Marine Raider. So this is based off of Cody Alford. He's a former Marine Raider, and
Nice.
he has an M4. He's got compared. So you're going to see a lot of M4s and a lot of I think he has the HK 416. They all have lasers, but again, we want to put them according to their setup. So maybe his is on top, someone else is on the side. His scope, or he has a sight on there, the LCAM. Someone else might have an EOTech. So,
So
yeah.
I guess my question when you're saying that is the operator himself is telling you what his figure is going to have on his loadout.
Yeah, we worked with them to make sure we got them correct. Because
That's awesome.
Most of them I can recognize. For his, I didn't know what that LCAM site was. Yeah, it was nothing that I've ever used before. So, and I'm not military. I'm just a civilian, but I grew up a farm kid and we had firearms. So, yeah, it was fun. It's fun going back and forth. And in the very beginning, I think when we were doing the customizing, we didn't do it accurate. We didn't do the artwork accurate to what this guy wore. And one of the guys said, "Hey man, I'll give you pictures. Let's try to make this, accurate." I'm like, "Awesome, love it." So
Nice.
trying to get the detail thing right.
It's cool that these guys are willing to help you get that detail in there, and so that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty slick.
We don't have it here, but his Glock, the magazine does come out of it.
Okay,
Cool.
good.
And we are wanting to do a weapons pack so you can get guns that the veterans don't have, like MP5s and stuff like that.
Nice.
We don't know if it'll be a Kickstarter, so we didn't include it in the slide deck.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
This one may change. One of our base ones, it'll still be the same uniform, but the guy we may swap out. We're actually working with someone else, a former Green Beret, that we may add in and then move this later on. But otherwise, this is Nick Irving. I don't know if anybody's ever read his book, The Reaper. Actually, a really good book. And so I read it quite a while ago, and that's what this figure is based off, like a younger version of him.
Nice.
So former Army Ranger. Yep. So there's his gear. You'll see a lot of similar items because, again, these guys had a lot of similar gear. So the radio, we have some that have antennas, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he carried a Glock, but a Glock is what we're giving his character.
So is that Shema? Is that plastic or is it soft goods, or what are you looking at with that?
That's plastic. We might offer some soft goods with the Kickstarter. We're still waiting on the factory to see, what they can do as far as that would be. I think we talked about just insurgents in the beginning for the soft good and possibly our clandestine figure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's definitely goals to have. Working with cloth in that small area is not easy. So I've tried to do that myself, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's definitely have goals for some soft goods. It's good to hear that.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where I've seen it where they're big and sloppy, like a lot of the Jedi robes. We want to make sure it doesn't, look like that, but at the same time, you can take it off. And so if you don't want to have it on, you don't have to leave it on.
Nice.
So the fourth figure for our base offering, this is another Navy SEAL based on the AOR2 camo. This is actually going to be an army builder. I say an army builder. Right now we have 2 different heads, 2 skin tones. We have a head pack that we have like a handkerchief on the lower face. I think Gav and I are still talking whether or not we want to offer that head with this.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's more a generic figure, but that's not settled yet. So something we're
right.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So he's got the quad night vision goggles, same half shell helmet, and then he has a scar. Magazine and compressor can come off. What's that? Sorry.
I was just going to say, I was going to ask, does that flips down on a hinge, or do you move it with a peg, or?
Nope. Snaps on and flips up and down.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that was one of the annoyances with the classified. They didn't do that. And so that was, even at the 4-inch scale, we had it so it would do that.
So now your base offering looks like 4 figures. You've got figure 5 as a stretch goal.
Yep.
Nice.
So I was sorry. You want to back up real fast. This is where the uniform changes.
Sure.
You see the shirt for most of the guys. It's going to be a tucked in look, but so it has the button down, heavier uniform based off of the old DCU camo. And this is former Navy SEAL. It looks like we're heavy Navy SEALs in the beginning, and then if the line is successful and we can launch more figures down the road, we have quite a few.
Right. There's tons of military to cover, so I think you got plenty to expand from. So you start with Navy SEALs, and you start with the best of the best. So
same there. Another M4 variant. He has a SIG 220 ball cap radio. A neck scarf. Go ahead. Who's this one here?
So Dakota Meyer, a Marine. He's going to be our 6th figure.
Based off the Woodland Marpat, so like you're kind of a Woodland digital, I guess is a way to say it. Mm-hmm. For his gear, if you look on the top right there, sorry, we have actually go back one more here. We have 2 different gear setups of him. The top right, we've kind of incorporated the 2. So he will have removable shells just in the top 2 on the chest, and then he's got some that are fixed. So instead of giving someone 15 or 20 different shells, we just made the top 2
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
The mags also can be removed.
Awesome.
Yeah, the tube, the 40 millimeter tube can slide back and forth. So actually, I guess there'll be 3 shells. One you can keep in the rifle.
Oh,
Right.
cool.
So yeah, he's got a lot of magazines.
Yeah,
his-
that's got to be some weight for a guy to carry around like that, but
yeah.
looks cool. All right.
Now,
so-
are you looking at doing any kind of backpacks or anything to go with the figures in the future? Or?
We have a couple in the slide deck here, I think, and then
Okay.
we
Same
have,
thing.
I don't know, 3 or 4 more that we have that would go in a gear pack later on.
Nice.
Another Navy SEAL with some desert tan camo.
Yep. So Jason Redman, call sign Red. So he's a guy who, actually a good guy. We met him in person a few years ago and started doing the custom of him before we were doing this.
Cool.
Nice.
He's going to come with 2 heads. So the one on the body there is a younger version of him. He actually was medically discharged when he was, I don't know how many times he said he was shot, but he was shot 2 or 3 times in the face. And
Wow.
so he wanted his scarred up version. So his scarred up version is going to be included also.
Yeah, you survive that much, you you get to make your demands, right?
Yeah, his pretty inspiring story with him. He was in the hospital and he got tired of people feeling sorry for him. So he wrote up a letter about anybody to come in the room there, basically no weeping. He didn't want to see it, and he put it on the glass. It actually made it all the way up to President Bush at the time. And so the president wanted to meet him and got a picture of it. So,
That's cool.
yep.
All right. So who's this?
Or you can say it.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not the one doing all the talking here. Sean Ambrose, he's a guy who we were introduced to. He's actually still active. He is actually an MP. So I don't remember if Bobby from B's Battleground served with him or met him. I don't know. We were messaging before. I think he knows him. So,
Bobby's in the chat. Bobby, you know this guy?
oh, is he in the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have full screen, so I can't see any comments.
No, it's okay.
But he had the M14, and so I'm trying to think what my eyes here. I think the M9 pistol is what he has or he carries there. The
Awesome.
Beretta M9.
Okay.
Here we go. We're still on the BDU, but this is actually going to be like a Desert Tiger. This is Chris Tonto Pronto. This is, I think, really one of only 2 photos of him wearing that. I don't think he wore that very often, but he was actually, we were in AFA. Oh, you were? Okay. All right, cool. I knew you had some tie-in with him, but I wasn't for sure. So Chris is actually one of those, if you hear about the attack on Benghazi, September 11th, where they're 2012. And so he was one of the guys there. He actually fought that night in shorts and flip-flops, but we go that route first. We hope to actually maybe down the road do like call them the old Star Wars battle packs with multiple people. Do like an operation pack or something where we include all those guys. That would be a goal to do down the road.
And that might have to wait for 3 3/4 because
Crusher asked, he's late. What scale are these? Crusher, these are 1/12 scale, 6-inch figures.
Yeah. So Chris actually now has his own. I thought I had his rifle around here. The rifle is one that he uses now to actually train people with. So he's got a different stock. If you can see that, it's kind of hollowed out, but that as well. There we go.
That's cool.
So, yep.
Yeah, and so you've kind of got that represented in the artwork here, right?
Right.
Yep.
Looks cool. All right.
Oh, so go back one. Sorry, I saw something at the very last second. You flipped that slide. Are those sunglasses? Are they removable?
They are. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, here we go. Here's his head without it.
Very cool. So is there like a slot on the side that holds the sunglasses on, or just go over the ears, or what?
Right now, it just fits over the ears. Actually, I think I had messaged Bobby about this. I did someone just curious their feedback on it, because sometimes the sunglasses being removed drive me nuts, right? Trying to keep them on there. So we do want to make sure they're snug. So we'll just have to watch with prototypes. If there's too much of an issue, my personal opinion, we'll talk about it, but might even be better just to either keep him on and do that head only, or do 2 heads. We'll have
Right.
to see.
That's cool. All right. Let's move back on again. Okay.
One more Navy SEAL. Actually, not one more. One of the others. This is actually Jack Carr. If you ever heard of the Terminal List or seen the TV show,
Yeah.
he wrote the book series on it. We met him way back when we were starting the customs. Excuse me. Great guy, and he served for quite a while, so he has so many different uniform options. So we've made down the road do other variants of him. He actually has some pictures of him wearing like Sitka hunting gear. And so he had asked about getting in that gear. And so that would be something, again, if all of this is successful, maybe we can add that down the road.
Cool.
So you got me thinking, like these are stretch goals. Have you figured out what you're going to tier things at, or is all of that kind of up in the air based on costs and stuff?
It still comes up in the air. If the Kickstarter isn't successful, it's not end of the world. We'll still launch our base figures.
Yeah.
Depending upon how interested people are, or how well the Kickstarter does, we may make it through all these. But I don't have dollar amount tied to them just yet, or we don't. It's just one of those where we'll see what the factory says. Different minimums. I think the minimums get less, once you do the same uniform. If you're just changing paint pattern, you don't have to have as many.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I see he's got the axe like the show.
Yeah, that's actually like a Winkler tomahawk. So Jack has that himself, and so he put it in his character.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Action Force wasn't successful for their first go around, so highly successful line now. So it's just all about sticking with it. And we talked to Riot Press, who they're going to market with one that their Kickstarter struggled a little bit, but he's put out some figures before, and we're really looking forward to getting our hands on those. So it is definitely not the end of the world, but here's to hoping that this does well. I mean, you've done your work. They look great.
Yeah, they do.
I think there's still some more too. I mean, the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, there's quite a few. So here we go. Here's Chad Robichaux, former Marine, actually a Force Recon Marine. We were going to do him in a woodland, but he wanted to be set up. He served JSOC Task Force, and so
Nice.
He wore this uniform. We had pictures of it. So
Okay, so there's your backpack, and it attaches around the waist too.
it does. Yep. This one, right? I think every one of the backpacks are hollow right now except this one. And with time, we may have our guy continue to work on it. At the time, trying to match, so that way we were unplugging like the top, so that way the top could unplug and the seams look good. We couldn't get it right, so we thought, all right, right now, just not worry about it. And it's something I think we'll go back and we'll figure it out.
I like this look. I like the hat. Is the hat removable, and can you turn it forward?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. K-bar knife. So. Yep.
Hey, it's Chad.
Yeah. So here you go. Yeah, actually, Chad was someone who helped support us early on, and I will say, same with everybody. Didn't ask for anything in return. He just liked what we were doing, and he's into toys himself or into action figures, and so he was talking about on his shows, and so we met him at Joe Fest. I think it was 2 years ago by now, right? Yeah, he didn't go last year. So we met him there, and then when we were looking to add more people, more variations, he was definitely one we wanted to add, because I think I told you guys beforehand, most of the other guys may have had G.I. Joes or Star Wars as a kid, but they didn't keep it up. And for us to be able to add a guy who is into it now, I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Awesome. Make him into a dolly, like he likes to call them.
Yeah.
In the scale that he calls 3.75 the Lord's scale.
The Lord's scale,
so he's going to be a 6-inch figure. So
yeah, well, I told him, I said I would love to make sure we can do the 4-inch for him, so we can get one of him.
Yeah.
He does have another head sculpt where he doesn't have the smirk on, and so that's something that will be included also.
Awesome.
Cool.
Wes Whitlock, so another former Marine, but this is here when he was a contractor. So we wanted to be able to vary it. He has a AK-47, actually a very long barrel. Our figure won't have that long of a barrel, but It's just funny. It's not something you typically see.
Interesting.
His shirt, you can't see it, but his shirt actually has like a logo of the Spartan Shield, and on the back it has, come and take it, basically in
Nice.
Greek, but in Spartan. So yeah, it is Greek, isn't it? All right, one more guy here in the combat uniform, Mike Ritlin. He actually has a podcast, Mike Drop. That's where I first learned about him. He was a dog handler. Now he's a dog trainer. He actually founded the Warrior Dog Foundation. That's something else we didn't talk about. Every single one of these guys, I would say, except Sean Ambrose, is a father. That kind of was a big thing when we were going through here. There's no secret sauce, or we didn't pick people just because of their skill set or how well they performed while they're in the military, because we don't know, right? We're civilians.
Right.
What you see in the media can be very far from what they actually did. But so we looked at fathers, and we looked at guys who are still giving back after they retired. So every one of these guys are associated with a foundation in one way or another. Mike Ritlin actually started one, Warrior Dog Foundation, where they help dogs transition from the military to civilian life. So his is going to include a Belgian Malinois. You actually want to hand me those right over there?
Yeah, and for each one of these figures that sell, we donate to an organization.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We let them pick the foundation. And so right in their agreement, we have the language in there that comes right off the top. It's not based upon profit. It's based upon the overall sale price.
Nice.
So his will have two different heads and
Nice.
actually two different necks too. So you want to see, these are some painted mock-ups here.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
All gear. He also has like a sunshades. He has actually, okay, is it in there? Oh, it's on the dog in the picture.
Yeah,
He also has
Yeah.
goggles on. He's got the muzzle.
looks like my dog.
What's the articulation going to be like on the animals? Is that the only animal in the line?
Like timber. Yeah, it's like timber.
Okay.
Off
Awesome.
Of, classified.
It is
Yeah.
the only animal so far.
Okay,
That's
cool.
It looks great though, man. Love the sculpt on those.
Yeah, it does. I like the idea of the two necks, like you were saying. I mean, that gives you a lot more flexibility in, having the dog in a different pose.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. I didn't realize that was what was up next.
Yeah, so this does have both necks in it, right? No, that doesn't either.
Doesn't look like it does. No.
I think we went back and asked him to do it. I love like Marauder has, I think theirs is a German Shepherd, but you have to twist the neck around. So we thought, why not just do a different sculpt?
Cool. Okay. All right. So this is an operative, like a clandestine operative. Excuse me.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, my favorite one just because of the uniqueness. So this is actually based on Clint Emerson. He was a former SEAL Team SIC, former NSA operative. And on the bottom right, that is actually him with that mask on. So it's almost like our imitating life. We all know about Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
This is called a 5-second mask. And I saw a video of the lady who was presenting it at the time to George H.W. Bush. She went in the room, was talking to him with the mask on, was showing him these masks. And he's like, yeah, I don't think this will fool anybody. And so she whipped off her mask and he was blown away. Couldn't believe they had that. So I was talking to Clint. He's like, this is what they declassified, right? His mask. So imagine what they have now.
Right.
Sure.
Probably even more high tech. I don't know if there's anything with the voices. He did say there's speaking and non-speaking masks, and he had both. So,
Wow.
so I was talking to you before, trying to get the head size right to make sure his head didn't look too small or these masks too big. That's tricky. That's something we'll still, have to toy around with. We did talk about, doing the Zartan look, but because the hairstyle is different, because we wanted to make sure we were true to the real look, we did make it a mask that snapped on top.
Nice.
Cool.
It looks awesome. I think we talked about this briefly at Joe Fest. You were kind of telling us the story of this guy, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, that looks cool. I mean, I'll be interested to see, how you end up, kind of getting it all to work out because, like you were saying, trying to get everything to where it looks right with a mask on and a mask off. You've got some work ahead of you, but, take your time, get it figured out right. I'm sure it'll come together.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we've had to accept is you either going to have to go, do you want them to look the best with all their gear on, or do you want them to look the best with the gear off?
Yeah.
And so
Right.
with I think our actual veterans, our military guys, I think we found a pretty good happy medium both ways. With the insurgents, with him, with these masks, definitely, I mean, completely geared up.
Cool. All right. Let's come back over here. So, you guys have done a ton of work. PDF that you sent over, like I was telling you earlier, art looks great. Looks like you've got everything well thought out. Um, so, I mean, is the excitement building? Are you ready for it? Like, are you starting to freak out, or what do you think?
I just hope it goes well. But yeah, I'm really excited.
I'll tell you, when you've been on this earth about 45 years versus 18 years, it can really drag on. When you're started when you're 14, now you're 18. For
Yeah.
myself, I'm like, all right, no, we don't need to rush it. I've managed different business units. Right now, I manage the Southeast for a company, and grand scale, we got to look long term. So
Right.
we probably really have double what we're showing here today of our figures. We don't want to blow our load with just a Kickstarter. So we want to kind of pace ourselves. Hopefully it goes well. And then, within the next few years, we have a lot more to release.
Cool.
Well, I think you definitely have something that collectors should get behind and won't. I mean, modern military is a big pull in the action figure world, and I think you have some very awesome stuff. I think you can have a successful Kickstarter. I do like that you're putting in the effort. You're making sure things are right. You're not just throwing something out there and it not be what it needs to be. So thank you for taking the time to put it in there, and don't rush things, because good things are worth the wait.
Well, right. And that's what I keep telling him. If we don't put out a quality figure, it's not going to feel like it's success. Most people will try something one time, but they're not going to, be into this line if they come in. The legs are shaking from the very beginning.
Right.
So I mean, we got to stay true to the veteran. That's our main goal, but collectors is 1A and 1B, right? I'm a collector myself, and so we definitely got to make sure articulation's good and the durable. So.
Have you figured out your box art yet? Are you going to make it nice for inbox collectors, or people that do keep their boxes? Are they going to be reusable? What are your thoughts there?
I'm an inbox collector. Actually, I'm both. I'm an inbox collector. I guess we could have shown mock-ups for the veteran. Is going to. We don't have one of ours, but you know what? Actually, you want to grab them? Well, okay. I think Monster Force actually just did it. So I don't know if they're going to be a complete look like a closed book like the Monster Force lines, but the front is going to be original artwork. When you flip it open, now this is for the veterans. When you flip it open, you're going to see real pictures of them. Plus, we're going to do a bio of them.
Nice.
You'll be able to see the figure, all the accessories, and then on the back side will be pictures of the toys plus legal. We're thinking on the side to be able to, like, if you want to put on a bookshelf, to be able to have maybe the first four will fit together and make an artwork together.
That would be cool.
So we're kind of toying around with how we want to do that, or do we want to do it like, all right, any special forces, match them together, and you'll see their logo. Maybe the Navy SEALs would form a logo. So here you go. If anybody hasn't tried out these Monster Force, these are actually
They're great. Yeah, we love those. I have a whole bunch. We both have those.
At this scale, I think it's my new favorite line. But here's theirs. Yeah. They have a comic on the inside, and then you can see all the gear, and then mock up of several figures. Myself,
so that's kind of what you're shooting for.
Yeah, I think that. Well, here's Joy Toy. This is what we first were looking at. Joy Toy did it. They did a picture of the toy there. We're going to do the real pictures of the guys. It's to pay tribute to them, pay homage to them, and we want to make sure we include that. Especially, you can Google the pictures, but I think, if you can see the actual figure plus the gear they wore right there, I think just, more meaningful.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
For the insurgents, since they're not based on anybody, specific, it's probably just going to be the clear front. So,
right.
Well, we talked about blister pack, or basically, I guess like you're classified. You're classified that you can see through. So
right.
Cool.
So yeah, that's where we are.
And so you're thinking this year you're gonna like here in a few months, you were saying?
Yeah, we're wrapped up with everything on our side again, just because we put more on the factory's plate. We're waiting on that. Some of what we gave them isn't even going to be in the Kickstarter, so we probably shouldn't have, but we wanted to know, ahead of time, what it was
Right.
about. One thing we didn't show, by the way, we have an insurgent that's going to come with an RPG, removable rocket, and then also he's going to have a backpack where you can store a few more in there. So
Very.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, the weapons look awesome.
Yeah.
That alone is gonna bring a lot of people that want to use those in other lines and things. So, I mean, that's cool as well. But the figures look great. I really like the amount of effort you're putting into getting the camo and the uniform look good. So, yeah, cool. I'm excited.
Yep. Me too.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. So
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us tonight and showing off the line. We appreciate y'all coming out. Thanks to all the veterans that have served and that are watching this, that are in the chat. Thank you for your service. Freedom isn't free, and without you, we wouldn't be who we are as a country. So
Cool.
I love that you're saluting real operatives.
Yep. So,
Well said, Trey. Well, thanks, guys. We'll let you get back to it. We appreciate you coming out.
all right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Later. Intro was still going a little bit there. Oops.
Okay.
Well, that was cool, man.
Man, those look great, and I'm excited to finally get to see a little bit more of that. He had some 3D printed like mock-ups and stuff at Joe Fest we were looking at.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more information. Hopefully and we didn't ask this, but hopefully they're at Joe Fest this year, and we can see some more, or maybe they even have figures in hand by then. So, which would be really cool. So,
And the dog looked awesome.
the dog looks really good. Yeah.
That looked really cool.
Yeah, that looked really nice. I mean, everybody goes crazy. They went crazy for Mutt and Junkyard, so I think that would be a real popular figure for him.
Yeah. Looks a little like one of my dogs.
Yeah, not the Boston Terrier though.
No, not the Boston, the Shepherd.
I've seen some crazy Boston Terriers in my time. Combat Boston Terrier would be kind of crazy.
I mean, I do call mine the Bullet. So
Nice.
Combat Boston. I like it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, man, we got plenty left here.
Yeah.
You want to get into? You got some new hotness that you want to show off?
I do. I got a couple things to show off, and
All right. Let's. Yeah.
Also,
right.
we did get a comment from
cool.
Ryan and Gavin. Thank you, Alan and Trey. We appreciate it. Yep, thank you. We'll be at DFW and Joe Fest this year, so he's going to hit them both. Last year, they were on the same weekend, so you had to pick between one, and they picked Joe Fest. So really cool that they're going to be both at DFW and Joe Fest. So we will definitely see them in June at Joe Fest, and looking forward to that. Maybe even DFW.
After we talk to him, kind of give you guys an update after we go. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Nice.
So you want me to kick over your spotlight, or you want to show off on your desk?
Spotlight. Spotlight's fine.
All right.
So keeping in the military world, we're gonna go with old Dalton.
Haven't gotten mine yet.
Lots of people upset that they got their. This isn't going to ship till like October or December or something like that. This showed up from Big Bad Toy Store, and I pulled the trigger as soon as it did. But I'm loving it, man. This is a great looking figure. The grenades kind of get in the way of the mic, because this is supposed to be a mic that that goes up and down, so you can pull it up or push it down. But I like this. There's a phone that fits right here in this little case, and I would hate to lose that, but it also fits on his gun, so he can look at the phone. I think it's a really good update for the character for Classified. And back in the day, Dalton was just he was a communications guy. He's got the little listening device here. I guess that's what that is, a little listening device.
Yeah,
And
that's what they use to cheat in the NFL.
yeah, exactly. Listening to the other huddle. He's got a knife on his boot here, which is a standard classified knife. But I really like that they did his backpack. Oh, it fell off. Yeah,
Did you break it?
No, I
was
didn't
gonna
just break
say,
a figure
pretty durable.
on live. No, yeah, it's pretty durable. It snapped right back on.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it just snaps back in, and you pull it back down, and hopefully don't break it again. But yeah, I like that. You know, he can set it up on the table, and he's got his communications and stuff. So they modernized him now, and I have a custom of mainframe that I did with a gridiron set. But yeah, this is everything I wanted dial tone to be for, you know. Now I got to do something with the custom I made and use it to make something else because I have this now. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that one I'm excited to add to the Joes. Keeping on with the GI Joes, I got this on a whatnot, and it's
You're gonna have
definitely
to tell us about what that is, because
it's definitely from the '90s, and so I bought it. It was so cheap that it was like a couple bucks, but I got it, and it's in good shape, and I didn't know what it was. And he's the pilot for, there's a 90s helicopter, and I cannot think of the name off the top of my head at the moment. I did order it off of eBay, so I can go to my eBay and look. It's called the Skystorm. This is the pilot for the Skystorm. I did go and order a Skystorm. It will be hanging from the ceiling not too long from now.
so you went on Whatnot and you bought like a couple of dollar figure, and it made you go
Yeah.
and buy a helicopter.
Yeah, and then it made me buy a $40 helicopter. So, and I was like, oh, that's one of those '90s figures I'm never gonna get. You know, I'll throw that out the window, man. I'm just getting whatever GI Joe I like. So
You can't help it anymore.
I showed the stun off last week, but I did get the stun driver.
Okay,
So I don't think I had that, but I got a stun driver.
cool.
If anybody has another one of these and a rear gun, hit me up.
Yep, Trey's needing some parts.
In the parts bin, if you got that. There is another big thing that came in, and I'll show these off.
That's cool.
Reindeer. They're only a month or two late,
Yeah.
and I only got to wait 10 more months to put them back out. But it's not just one. This is Dasher. There's 9 of these.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the head pack with Rudolph and the others. So there is a order that you have to buy these to get them all.
Are you planning on getting them all?
No, I got them all. They're on a box over there. It says "Do not open till Christmas."
Oh wow!
So it was not cheap, but I got Santa, and then the sleigh's on order. And now I got the reindeer, and I got some elves, and yeah, nine reindeer.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah, I don't think the sleigh is going to be ready in time for next year, but it's going to make for a cool display.
Maybe I could 3D print you a sleigh.
Yeah. Maybe
Something
out of particle,
standard.
like out of like board or whatever. Like
yeah. You got anything else, or I'm not trying to make you work to find something, because I got stuff.
I know you do, but just so we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Casey Jones review is dropping this Saturday at 10:30 on YouTube, and so check that out. We got a review coming. But
You did good, man. I like it.
Thank you.
It's fun. Yeah, I hope people check it out. You know, we haven't been super timely with these reviews, and that's kind of important when it comes to the review game, if you will. But we're trying. We're having some fun. We're kind of, getting our feet under us and getting going with it. And Trey did a good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
So it should be. I hope you guys check it out. That's currently we're dropping these second videos Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So be on the lookout. Right in the middle of all of the toy stuff that happens on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
That was my idea. I don't know if it's helping, but seemed like a thing. All right, I got a couple of some new hotness to show off.
What you got? What you got?
Bang! Not exactly new to anybody else, but if you recall, I had to send mine back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your Wild
Yeah.
Bill had a messed up hip joint or like
He
leg
had
joint or something.
on the back of his leg here, where there's even still, you can see, maybe it must have been like part of the mold or something, but he had a big divot and this leg was super loose. Like there was a big gap right around there. And so no, I got my replacement in this week.
So did Hasbro just send you a completely new boxed Wild Bill? Or
Yes.
Awesome.
I had to send mine back though. So they sent me a prepaid label. I just kind of threw him in whatever box I could find and shipped him on back.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Surprised
it
they
is
made
what it
you
is.
send him back, but hey, you got a replacement, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm happy. And it came quicker than I kind of thought it was going to as well. So, and then next up, there you go. Perfect shot, right? Let's try to get this.
Ooh.
This is Lord Starkiller.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is a cool new hot toy that I got to go with Darth Revan. They both essentially came out at the same time. Just got him out, got him posed up, looking pretty awesome. This Darth Revan in this one, their lightsabers would come around the back here. This lightsaber is USB powered, and so under the stand, there's a little junction box. I don't know. Let's see if I can get that in frame a little bit better. Oh, let's not.
Ooh, dropping figures.
Yeah, trying to. There's this little junction box.
At least it didn't log you out.
Yeah, it didn't log me out this time. Yeah, not like previous times. But yeah, so I'm going to be able to hook up the lightsabers on both of these dudes to like a switching smart outlet or something, and so have it turn on. And
Nice.
and so I played the video game, but I didn't beat the video game, and I didn't go down this path. But I believe these are all lightsabers from Jedi or Sith that he has killed.
Yep.
And so he wears them as trophies around his belt, which I think is super cool.
Man, he's got backups.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty nice figure. I like him. The weathering on the helmet is really slick. It looks real good. I mean, there is a lot of texturing, a lot of different, kind of finishes on there. So
Black Series, the Black Series one's nice, but it doesn't have a helmet.
Yeah, no, that's just the Sam Witwer. That's like the normal Star Killer.
Right.
This is the evil Lord Star Killer. So,
Right.
So yeah, that's all I've got to show off for new hotness.
Okay.
However, I did get a third figure that I am currently in the process of reviewing. I hope people dig on it. It's going to be a big one. I'm going to shoot for like the 15, 20 minute range because the Doc Knock went way longer than I thought. But on that note, I have a blooper from the Doc Knock review that I wanted to share. You cool with that?
Yeah, man, share it.
All right. Hold on one second. Let me get this pulled up. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Where is it? Every once in a while, it's not your fault. It's this app just doesn't pick up all the windows sometimes. Let me see. Try that again. No. All right. Hold on. Let me take this out of full screen and see if that does it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I will get that up and then come over here. All right. So I believe you guys should hear audio on this, and that's kind of the most important part. So are you going to play? Hold on one second. boots on. So, man, I should probably do this whole thing again, especially after great big old boots. It said boots. It's really dumb. Okay, let's back her up. So I was doing a size comparison, which I ended up cutting out because the video was already too long. And I pulled in La Muerta, and I was talking about how she's slightly taller than Doc Knock, but I attributed some of that to her big old boots with a T, but I didn't enunciate it very well, and I was like, holy crap, I can't keep that in the video. So anyway, I thought it was
Nice.
funny.
Nice.
I thought it was funny. So yeah. Oh, you got 2 Allens on screen. That's way too much handsome than anybody can take in
Yeah.
one period. Let's get out of there. So before we move on to anything else, I have something I was wanting to talk about that's kind of strange.
Okay.
So everybody knows that there's like been a whole bunch of craziness in the news lately. Not only are like tariffs wreaking havoc with everything, people in the toy world are figuring out about it. But shortly before all the tariff stuff went down, Diamond Distributors filed for bankruptcy.
Yep.
I got in the mail a bankruptcy notice from Diamond Distributors.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but ages ago, it's been quite a while, I used to run a comic book store. And I'm guessing like everything should have been under the company's name and never directly associated with me, but I'm guessing somewhere, some point, I made it into their databases. So they're like trying to tell me if they have any debts to me, they're getting wiped away and have to do this legal notice. So that was a surprise, right? And I was like, what the hell is this? Totally taken off guard. So more on that, I called the guys who own the comic book shop now and was speaking to one of my friends there. And apparently they haven't even gotten their notice yet. They've been waiting on it. So I'm going to send them some copies of this so they'll have it. But man, I guess it's as much as, people don't like to say it, it is definitely going to impact the industry.
Yeah.
There is fear of new comic book or free comic book day going away.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal for the industry.
It is. And it's a good free comic books. Free comic book day is a great way to get new people in.
Yep.
And for us people that have been collecting for a while, especially comics, for me, there's only 3 or 4 books that I really want to pick up from that, and they're usually just hinting at what's coming in the future. But I will miss that, and there's a lot of kids stuff, a lot of kid friendly free comics that are with the way that comics are and the digital world coming around. I am purely a sole physical media comic person. I don't really have any digital comics. The only digital comics came with that G.I. Joe set back there, and I can't read digitally. I don't enjoy it. So that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it is going away, but it's definitely in question, I think. And
right.
A lot of the independent companies, the independent publishers, go through Diamond, and do not have deals in place with any of the other distributors, and so that's gonna be impactful. I mean, it's a big deal. So yeah,
interested to see if Penguin steps up, if some of these other companies step up, and decide that they're gonna have a little bit more hand in how their media comes to the consumer. So definitely interesting. And Diamond Select, all that stuff's just gonna be gone, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty wild. Not really too sure what to think of all of it, and we'll kind of have to see how things play out, but certainly hoping for the best.
I've seen a lot of fear in the toy community, or I've seen some fear, not a lot, but I've seen some fear in the toy community about our prices going up, and that may change the way some people collect. We'll see what happens, and hopefully it's not too bad. I got a lot of toys in here to keep me occupied, but
we want new. I
Yeah.
want my pre-orders. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, the pre-orders, but yeah, it's there's some things coming down the road, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy tariff stuff that's been in the news. I saw a notice that somebody had posted from the United States Postal Service saying that packages from China, originating from China, not necessarily even being shipped from China, um, are being held. And then it was kind of like, okay, that's just the post office. They'll figure out something else. Other companies will figure out something else. But now I'm hearing about DHL and FedEx as well.
Right.
I will say that, when I get stuff from all over, and I get stuff that's couriered sometimes, which is a little crazy. That does seem to be the way around. The big shipping companies having their issues, but
Mhm.
I can't imagine that going from letting things through to now having to inspect everything for correct country of origin and do investigation on that. The things aren't going to slow down. I mean, across the board.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Brace for impact, I guess. We'll see.
Hey, maybe this is the emergence of some American-made toy lines.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not impossible. It's things could be done here just as well as they can be done there, and maybe a factory or two gets moved to a different country.
That
Um,
could certainly happen. That could certainly
so
happen. I mean, and also there's some nefarious ways of getting around things like that.
right.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I myself, I enjoy the third party figures quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the fact that they're third party. I mean, I definitely like for licenses to be properly obtained, but if a license is kind of defunct or isn't in use, I still enjoy the characters and things, man. Let's bring it.
I was on 5K at Bob Bussy the other day looking at something, and I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on it after that announcement was made. So
Oh yeah,
it's like, well, I didn't really need that. I can wait, you know. So I don't think I really have anything tied up in all that yet. I'm probably sure of something. I got a lot of stuff on pre-order. Something's going to be affected, but
oh yeah. I mean,
uh,
everything's going to be affected.
yeah,
It's just a matter of how severely. But I don't want to continue to talk about
yeah.
downer topics like that. You know, do you have some take my money or anything you want to share?
I really don't, man. I
That's all
I
right.
haven't. I bought that jet, and here, there's my helicopter. There's my take my money, and it got taken, and
Okay.
it's on the way,
Got
and it's
taken.
very it's very very 90s.
Yeah.
But I love aviation, and I was like, well, I got the driver, a pilot. I might as well have the sky storm. So
Yeah.
it's on
That's
the way.
funny.
And
That's funny.
there was one funny thing about it is it has a bunch of missiles with it. It was missing one missile, and I ordered the one missile on eBay as well. So that actually came in today. So I have a pilot and one missile, and I'm waiting on the actual helicopter.
That's funny.
So
Well, I've got plenty of some take my money to show off. So give me a second
all
here.
right, all right, all right.
Excuse me. Where we've got a lot of stuff going on here. Here we go. I got to play it. So
Oh, I do got one.
okay.
I do got
Well,
one.
if you want to pull it up, I'll
No,
go
no,
over
no,
here.
no. There it is. It's
Oh
the
yeah.
hound. It's the
Okay.
hound. The
Yeah.
hound is coming, and it's
Speaking of
coming to
American
my
made
house.
toys,
Yep. Gridiron Studios is American made, 3D printed right there in Arizona. And
that
it's
thing
coming
is
to my
pretty
house.
cool.
And he showed off pictures today that it is almost as big as the Vamp. Or if it is as big as the Vamp. Um, yeah, so I'm excited for that. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but I will soon.
All right. So I haven't ordered this, but Ace has just gone crazy over the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So he's got this, which I am considering it. I think it looks pretty cool. At this point, I think everybody's probably got multiple sets of turtles. And
Yeah.
so, I don't know where I'd put it, but I think this would be flexible for some other things too. But I don't know, man. I think it's pretty cool. I hope that he gets through like some of the stretch goals and stuff like that. This is the early bird. So if you're going to get on it, now's the time to get in on it. Because it will definitely go up at some point later in time. So there was that, which I thought was cool. There is, I've already got enough of these freaking vans on order. But this thing is awesome. The Misery Machine, and I lost my mouse. Hold on. The Misery Machine. So this is, a repaint of the Rev, the Ramen Economical van.
Mm-hmm.
And dude,
Hey,
this
everybody's
thing is
drinking it one time.
Oh yeah, nice timing. This thing looks slick, man. I'm on the fence. I don't know that I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but I wanted to show it off. Oh, that was weird. You got bloody handprints, and on the side you've got like, zombies that maybe run over or something. I mean, it's awesome. That's pretty cool, And it looks like you've got your kit to put the armor on it that also comes off, but I love it.
No, you need a shag and a Scoob to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. A zombie shag and Scoob.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last thing that was absolutely a take my money was this. The Black Razor pack. So this is, he offered the different version of the racer that had these kind of, as part of it, that was all rusty and had that patina on it and stuff. Well, you can get this for your, non-patinaed version. Like I've got the original version, and man, I think this will be cool to put a big scoop and like, some armor on my racer. I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
Looks pretty damn cool. And honestly, I was thinking I might wait and see if, it'll go into stock on VBTS. But at this point, I don't know that it's going to hurt either way. So,
right.
I thought that was cool. I've got two other things that I want to show off. This one, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's Alan. So this is, hopefully everybody's heard of the Heat Boys Mecha Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, this is their shredder. And I mean, first off, it's got, a super robot mecha kind of look, which I'm a big fan of, everybody knows. And it's purple, which is also my thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I might have to go in on this guy. This looks pretty cool. And I don't have any of the others. And I don't, even if I get this, I'm really not going to feel too inclined to get them. I think this thing stands on its own, especially in my collection. But
I mean, think about the Mezco turtles going up against that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would make some cool pictures.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah.
I was on BuzzFeed and I saw their 1/18 scale Ninja Turtle figures, and I was like, no, not gonna do it.
Yeah. Excuse me. This thing looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
This is probably a take my money.
Nice.
Yeah. So, all right, I got one more. And this one's pretty cool too. This is over on 5K. LPZZ. Apparently, this is an officially licensed Batman from like the Arkham video game series.
Mm-hmm.
You can see on the nameplate down there. And this is
nice.
an easy take my money. Really nice looking soft goods tape that apparently has some wire, for posing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting in some really cool poses here. So looks like the articulation's going to be good. I mean, sign me up. Where can I?
That looks cool. So what's the total price on that thing? Because you know 5K will be like, oh, here's your $10 deposit, but is it
Yeah.
how much
Yeah.
is the rest of it?
Okay. So total price after your deposit, or including your deposit, is $75.
That's not bad.
I will say, I've been getting some things from Bomb Busby, and they've got it for 60, including shipping.
Ooh.
So that's where I'm going to order it from. So far, so good with them. I've not had to have a support experience with them. So it'll kind of remain to be seen how well they back up their customers and stuff. But so far so good, and stuff has
Has
been getting here quick.
nice. So when is that expected to drop?
Oh shit, I have no idea, and I closed the tab.
Oh, it's all good.
But I did have one more that I almost forgot about. From
That's
the
nice.
Deadpool Wolverine movie, their Hot Toys is doing a Blade figure.
Nice.
And he's even got his, that I don't even know what you would call it. Like the knives kind of shoot out
Mhm.
on the hilt of his sword.
It's only ever one blade.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from Hot Toys, but this is pretty cool looking. I'm a little questioning on the pants. Whether they're pleather or real leather, or hopefully they've learned their lesson and that material will hold up over time. But yeah, man, that is all of my take my money.
Nice.
It's not looking like a bad week, but I'll be curious to see when everything comes. Alan's under flash photography. What that means, Jay? Oh, is it from the light when I have my screen share going on?
Oh yeah, you might have been flashing a little bit.
Yeah, I've got the big monitor sitting here in front of me, so it pours off the light when I've got something showing. But yeah, man. I've got. Oh, do you have any shelfies or fantastic photos? Because I do. This guy does.
Yeah, show them. Show them.
I came prepared. All right,
Yeah.
so I've got a single shelfie. Hold on. I got to do the thing. You know how I am. All right. There we go. Can't help it. And then I got to get the share up. So much stuff is happening. That is not it. It's this. Okay. Not a great picture, but this is a recent one that I put together. This is my Hot Toys non-Iron Man suits. And the recent one that went in there is the Armorized Deadpool, which is a really cool figure. Honestly, I love all of these for different reasons. The Iron Patriot is super cool, and it's huge, and it's got these big missiles and guns off the back that look pretty awesome. But man, they all look great. It's not a great shot. I was trying to kind of get it to where the lights weren't blinding it.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a cool shelf. Right next to it is a new Star Wars shelf that I'm working on with Revan
Ooh.
and Lord Starkiller. So you might see those next time.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm working on something with the Detolfs. I think I'm gonna take two of the Detolf sections out and put some more stuff in there. So I might have another shelfie coming up soon.
Okay.
Might be a project for the weekend is move some figures around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we've come about to the end of the episode here, man.
Yeah, man. That was fun talking to Ryan and Gavin and looking at Patriot Force. So excited for that. Hopefully it comes out soon. And I don't know if anybody else has really talked to them. So really cool to have those guys on and chat about that line.
Getting the
It's
early
great.
scoop.
Yeah.
So we do have some guests scheduled to come up, but next week we're gonna go to the well and look for some community stuff, bring in some some fantastic photos, maybe even some shelfies if we can get some from the community. So if you guys have some stuff you want to show off, send them our way. You know, we're going, this is core Action Figure Alliance style next week.
Yeah.
So bring it. We'd love to see it, love to show it off.
Or if you're working on a custom, show us pictures of
yeah.
that. Send
Yeah.
send us something, AFA skulls at gmail.com, or send it to either one of our Instagrams, or the AFA Instagram,
Yep.
Or Facebook, on the Facebook page.
Link
So
in the
hit it.
description, or
Yeah.
information in the description below.
Right. And
But, yeah, man.
Saturday at 10:30, we got a Casey Jones review coming, so don't forget that. Check it out.
Yes, we do. I really hope everybody checks it out. I enjoyed it. I thought
I
you
had
put some
fun with that
into
one,
it.
man. Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, my Doc Nocturnal one was like all business. I was super focused. But I'm glad you brought a little bit of fun to it. And my next one, I'm going to try and do the same. We'll see. We got to learn as we go. But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I'm hopeful to have my review getting ready. I'm working on it. I'm making good progress there, so it should go up fairly soon too, and it'll be a cool one. Coolest accessory ever. I kid you not.
Okay.
It is one you have to see. I'm not even kidding. I'm in love with the figure, and the accessory was just like the icing on the cake. So yeah, it'll be a good one.
Nice. Play with your
right.
toys. Have a good time. Y'all have a good week.
Yeah, have fun, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take
Later.
it easy.
Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side. Scouring the shelves, we're down for the ride. Plastic warriors all lined up tight. From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching, yeah, taking my time. I'll flip every aisle, don't care what it takes. For that rare chase piece, I'm raising the stakes. Action Figure Alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep, rolling heavy with my action toys. Collectors unite, we're breaking the chains. Plastic in hand,